Why don't audio manufacturers post their retail prices on their website? This question comes from Norm in Sacramento, California, or California's capital. Hi, Paul. Why is it that some/most audio equipment manufacturers are so secretive about the selling prices of their gear? It was refreshing to go to the PS Audio website and see clearly how much each piece of equipment costs. I wish more manufacturers would do that. I find it frustrating to have to track down current new prices on Google, often having to convert British pounds to dollars, only to discover it was way, way beyond my budget. I'm sure I'm not the only audiophile to whom price is a huge factor. Thank you. No, you certainly are not the only audiophile to whom price is a huge factor. I mean, I think most of us are price conscious. Well, I'll tell you a little secret. We are just as guilty. Thank you for the kudos, but we're just as guilty as our British brethren and other companies around the world. Not entirely, but primarily. So we'll back off just for a little bit. And so let's back up and answer specifically your question. So if you go to PS Audio's website and you're in the United States, you're going to see our prices because we think that's appropriate, that those prices be displayed for everyone to see. That's just us. Now, if you go to a number of, Wilson Audio, I'm not picking on Wilson, but there are a number of companies that sell more expensive product, Magico, those high-end loudspeaker companies, you won't see prices there. And there's a couple of reasons for that, but then I'm going to go deeper and tell you why in general you don't see it around the world. So different companies have different philosophies. I think when companies charge a lot of money for their products, they tend to not put pricing on there. I don't know if it's because they don't want to scare customers away, or if they think, gosh, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. I honestly don't know those philosophies, but there is a problem in the United States and elsewhere with setting retail prices. So, and there's a few problems with it. One is that if you set retail prices, the commerce, the fair trade people have some pretty strict rules about what you can and can't do to tell dealers what they can and can't charge. So you can set a retail price, but within the United States anyway, you can't then demand that a dealer charge that price. Okay? It's anti-competitive. They want the dealer. You can't fix prices. Not in the United States. And there are companies that get around that all sorts of ways. Apple is notorious for always charging, you always pay full retail for Apple. Well, one way they do that, even though they advertise their prices, is they control all the retail. And at the places where they don't, those dealers make very little margin. That's so little margin, a profit margin, that they can't afford to do it. But Apple can't say this iPhone has to cost this much. It's not legal to price fix that. So that's a problem, and a lot of times companies have deals with their retailers, and they try and manage this because they don't want a lot of discounting and all that. And I know that's not a great answer, but that is in fact, part of what's going on here. The other part, and this is the secret part that I mentioned, if you go outside the United States, you won't see PS Audio prices. When you go to our website, if you're in Mexico, if you're in Germany, you won't see prices. We use a service called Geolocating that sees that you're coming from outside the United States, and it hides the price. Why? Well, because the price in the United States is not the price in Germany. or Mexico or any of the 70 countries that we sell our products in. And that is because of any number of reasons. What the exchange rate, oh gosh, I mean, generally you will pay more outside the United States for PS Audio goods than you will inside the United States because it's more expensive for us to export. If you can imagine, here's the United States and you got a guy, say, take the UK. Our person over there, Kevin, from Signature Sounds, great guy, love Kevin. He has to spend good hard money to air freight all of our equipment over to the UK. So that's an expense. Once he gets it there, he has to pay customs, he has to pay VAT, and then once he has it there, he has to service all of that equipment at his expense. And so, here in the United States, it's not so bad. We have a factory. We can do it, right? I mean, because we service our stuff. We are the factory. Kevin, on the other hand, is a distributor, and he has to hire a technician. He has to, pay all that stuff. Now, we supply the parts. He has to supply the labor and shipping. If there's a problem, we need to take care of the customer. All the, the exchange rate, I mean, my God. And then dealers, he's going to have to, whatever he buys it from us for, he's got to up the price in order to cover the dealer. So it's anything but simple. And so if we show the price over there, it would have to be the UK price, which is different than the US price. Now someday, and we're working hard on this, we're building a new website to where that will actually happen, because we believe in being transparent about all of this stuff. That's why I'm telling you all this, right? So over time, our new website will show it in British pounds, and then when you're in Mexico, it'll be the peso, or wherever the heck you are. So we're getting there, and but there's a lot going on, and it's not quite as simple as just, well, why don't you just post it? For some companies, yes. For others, they'd just rather not deal with all of it, because you have to admit, if PS Audio didn't show the prices, then no one around the world would have, anything to complain about, and our webmaster would have a lot easier time. But then, in a way, it's stupid. It's really silly. Why? Because look what he's doing. He's going on Google and finding out the price, right? It's not like this is a secret. With Mrs. Google around, everybody knows everything, right? So if I need to know the cost of a pair of Magico speakers, I just go online and ask Mrs. Google. And there it is. Now the secret's out. So it's all kind of funky. But anyway, we believe in transparency. Thank you for pointing that out. And we're working hard on having that happen around the world too. So, okay, take it easy. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.